Good morning, everyone. We are in our Aquatic Conservation Center and we're gonna get started in just a second. But we're gonna start off with a cute look at this Hellbender.
Do you hear that sound, Kelsey?
Wait, I don't hear it, Jake.
That's the sound of conservation at work.
It is quite loud.
Thank you. So today, for Take a Break with Jake, I'm super pumped because we are at our Aquatic Conservation Center. I know nothing about where we are right now. This is my first time being here. So we enlisted Sherri, who's our lead herpetology keeper, to tell us all about what's happening up here. Hi, Sherri.
Hi.
Hi, buddy. Where are we? What's going on here?
All right, so we are in our Aquatic Conservation Center. It's off exhibit. It's behind the new hospital. It's where we have 3 different species of native Tennessee amphibians and reptiles, where we're keeping them away from our main collection so we can keep them safe, so we can do other things with them. So we have some streamside salamanders. They like to live in dirt, so you can
this
see them.
is streamside salamanders?
Yeah, here's a picture of them on the wall.
Oh, okay.
What they look like. Oh, they're so pretty.
How handsome.
Only they came out. And then we have a bunch of alligator snapping turtles, but they're all hiding right now. And there's one over here in the corner.
There we go. Alligator snapping turtle.
They're about 2 years old.
Oh, that's my face.
That's
So sorry. Hello. We'll flip that back around.
So we're raising these for TWA, and they're going to take them back and then release them in the future.
Okay.
This is another empty tank where our alligator snapping turtles were, and we recently sent them back last month to TWA.
Okay.
Alright, so now the main reason we're here is Hellbenders, because they're awesome. Alright, so up here in these tanks, no one's out in that one right now, I think over there. These are 1.5-year-old Hellbenders. They're so adorable. So they've been here, we collected them as eggs, and we're growing them up for re-release. For some reason, they really love to all hang out together. So in a lot of them, you'll see them under all the same hides. They just love bunching together, like underneath one. There's multiple hides in there, but they just insist on being all together.
That's
And it makes
adorable.
Super cute pictures. So we actually have about 90 of this age class. And then we also have
90?
90.
Like 90.
90 of these.
That is so many.
Yes, but Hellbenders actually lay about 500 eggs, so it's not that many. We only took a small portion of their, we took 20% of their eggs, so we could raise them here and then release them back to the wild.
Awesome.
Over here we have more Hellbenders, yay! Down here we have 2.5-year-olds, but they're all being good and hiding because they're nocturnal and they should be sleeping. I think there's one face there, I'm not sure if you can
There's one up here.
yeah, those are the bigger ones.
Oh.
Yeah, they're big. So we can come back over here where there's more.
Okay.
Alright, so these ones are adorable. See, look at these are 4.5 years old and they're all still sleeping together underneath their one hide.
Oh my gosh, like little pancakes. How cute is that?
Adorable. I don't know why people think they're ugly. They're adorable.
Now, Sherri, I feel like we haven't explained to people what Hellbenders are.
No, we sure haven't. Alright, so Hellbenders are a type of salamander. I switched my mask because the other one was cool, but oh my goodness, it's so heavy and I couldn't talk. I was yelling. So, new mask. So Hellbenders are a type of salamander. They're fully aquatic, so they never leave the water. They're found in a variety of different states, but they're native here to Tennessee, mostly Middle Tennessee and East Tennessee. They live in clean rivers in Tennessee.
Not dirty rivers.
No, dirty rivers are a problem, and they can't survive in those.
So, when we're talking about the conservation of these species, basically the idea that I have, that I've talked about all over the years, is that Sherri and her team will go out and collect eggs from Hellbenders, and then bring them here to the zoo, hatch them out, raise them up for several years, and then eventually re-release them in what we call like a head start process. So it's giving these animals a leg up. It's helping them make sure that they don't get eaten really young, because that's like why Hellbenders have so many babies, is because a lot of them get eaten and a lot of them don't make it to adulthood. My mask is falling down again. And Sherri was telling us before we started that she just gave them a bunch of food, which are those fish that you see swimming around, to just kind of encourage them to come out so we could actually see them during our program today. But because they're nocturnal, they're mostly doing what they should be doing, which is staying in their little huts, staying hidden, and staying safe. And that's really what Sherri wants them to be doing. For a lot of our animals here at the zoo that are permanent residents who are gonna be here or in another zoo their entire life, we wanna work with them to make them habituated to humans. We want to get them used to working with us as partners. But for Sherri and the animals up here at the Aquatic Conservation Trailer, she wants these animals to remain wild. Because you don't want to take a habituated animal and try to put it back out in the wild and be like, good luck, Bob, we'll see you in a bit. It won't work out well for the animal. So she is training these animals effectively to be good wild animals and stay away from humans. There's a snoot right there. He said, I saw you pointing.
Oh, where'd he go?
There's this guy's down too. So in the wild, Hellbenders mostly eat crayfish, but they also eat fish. So we're giving them a lot of live fish. They're a lot easier to get than crayfish, so that they can practice eating food and catching it themselves. Once we get close to their release, we're hoping to get crayfish from the streams that we're going to put them, so they can get used to, I don't know, the different flavors of crayfish, and
Tasty.
how they, what they need to do to catch them effectively. So those are some of the things we're doing. We also, in this room, because everything's from Tennessee, we can control the temperatures. So in the winter, we take it down to the 40s and 50s, probably not 40s. We're worried about our pipes freezing. And then in the summer, we'll take it a little bit warmer. We also have some windows that let in natural light, and we change our photo period throughout the year so that they're seeing light and temperature fluctuations like they would see in the wild. So we're trying to keep them like they would see it in normal. And they would normally be living on rocks and gravel beds. So that's, we're using PVC hides right now because they're lighter. We don't want any Hellbenders getting squished. It's easier to maintain. So that's why we have them the way we have them.
Sherri, you mentioned that you're keeping the temperatures normal. What's a normal temperature for a Hellbender? Like what kind of water temperature are we talking about here?
Well, right now they're about 67 degrees. We'll take them up to the 70s, maybe the 80s this year. And we take them down. But in the wild, they fluctuate with the outside temperatures, so they can get down to like 34 degrees.
Wow.
They can get up into the mid-80s. So they're able to handle a wide range of temperatures. So we do try and give them some natural fluctuations.
Gotcha. Now, here at the zoo, we do have Hellbenders on exhibit, correct?
We do.
We have one or
We
more?
have two.
Two?
We have the first two Eastern Hellbenders ever produced in captivity on exhibit for people to see.
Wow.
They are 7.5 years old. We produced them for the very first time in 2012. The National Zoo and the San Francisco Zoo are the only zoos to have produced Hellbenders in captivity.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's a separate, different thing that we're doing to help conservation of Hellbenders. It's really tricky, which is why it's taken so long and only a few people have done it.
That's awesome. Now, when the zoo opens back up, the Unseen New World, which is like where all of our ectotherm or herpetology exhibits are, won't be open for a while because it's inside and it's like very narrow and there's like a lot of touchy-feely places that you can pick up germs from. So you'll just have to come back and watch this video again and again and again to get your Hellbender fix. I know I will be, because these animals are so cute. But they get kind of a bad reputation because they're like ugly, blah, blah, blah. But they're called snot otters, yeah?
Yes.
And why is that?
So one of their defense mechanisms is when they're caught or threatened, they actually secrete a slime that's kind of sticky, and it kind of turns white sometimes, and people think it looks like snot, so we call them snot otters.
bothering me and I could snot on them, I would.
Nobody wants to touch you when you're snotty.
Honestly, like, that's probably one of the best defense mechanisms that you and I have talked about, Jake, over the past few weeks.
Yes.
Of being snotty.
Yeah, so that may be gross, but that's their way of defending themselves, and that makes them super cool. He's sticking his little head out again.
He's gonna go away as soon as I step over there.
He's good. He's not supposed to hang out with people.
He's doing a great job.
And we can see all of us in the reflection.
Yep, the reflection is great in here. Claudia and Mary, I see your questions about the zoo opening. We are still closed. Check out our Facebook later this afternoon and I'll have that opening date posted for you.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Now, Sherri,
Yeah.
people love having pets at home. They love having dogs, they love having cats, but there are a lot of people who also want like somewhat more exotic pets. Hellbenders probably don't make the best pets for
You
everybody.
cannot have Hellbenders as pets. Hellbenders are state endangered and they're restricted in almost all of their range.
So that's a no.
Yeah, no Hellbenders. They are terrible. You have to control their temperatures. You got to control their water. So they are terrible pets. There are some aquatic amphibians that do all right. There's some newts and there's aquatic Sicilians. But amphibians aren't always the greatest pets. They have really sensitive skin, so they'll actually absorb any lotions or soaps or oils you have, and that can actually make them sick. So if you do have amphibians, you always want to handle them with damp hands, but chlorine in water can actually hurt them too, so it's tricky. Amphibians can make really great pets, but they're more for watching than handling. Reptiles, on the other hand, have scaly skin, they can be handled. So like corn snakes, green dragons, crested geckos, those are good pets. But with any pets, make sure you do your research because you want to be able to provide them with the best habitat, the best diets and homes that you can for them. So just make sure you do your research so you can have the best pet for you and for the pet.
Love that message. Now, Sherri, you work on like constructing some things here too, yeah? Tell us about what this contraption is.
Hold on, let's get a good cribs tour of this bad boy.
Well, it's really dirty. I just took it in from outside. There might be some bugs living in it.
Oh, we got a top view?
We got a top view. Yeah, that's some gross leaves and stuff. So with our partners, we have a Tennessee Hellbender initiative where we work with Tennessee State University, Middle Tennessee University, Lee University, and TWRA. We also have a U.S. Fish and Wildlife grant to do surveys, to do disease studies, and to make nest boxes or Hellbender dens to put in the wild.
So this looks like completely different from any other nest box I've ever seen, personally.
That's a lie. You know you helped me make these. Weren't you there? I'm pretty sure you were there. It was a while ago. She might have forgotten. All right, so we actually made these out of wire and cement with a lot of different volunteers. Pretty sure Kelsey was there, but maybe my memory's all screwed up. So what we'll do is we'll put these in the wild, and hopefully the Hellbenders will live in them.
So they would go in this.
They would go in this.
This is the front door, right?
The entrance tube. They live under really big rocks in the wild, and so having these dens allows us to be able to survey for them. We can just take off our lids, see if anyone's home. If we need to, we can catch them, we can weigh them, measure them, and do disease samples, and then put them back without disturbing the habitat. Because they live under really big rocks in the wild, and it's really hard to get them out without disturbing their habitat.
There's action.
Oh, we have action over here, Sherri. We need to pivot.
Okay. Well, I'm going to keep talking.
Yeah.
So, one of the things we'd like our adult Hellbenders to live there, but also we might put these out when we release our animals to give them a place to start. That would be called the soft release. So we would put them in one of these nest boxes in the river and then maybe put a little pen around them so they can get accustomed to the water, the temperature, the prey items, just kind of adjust to their surroundings. And then after a certain period of time, we would remove that little cage so that they could explore the river at their own pace.
What is this guy doing right now?
I don't know. He's hanging out. They don't really talk to me that well. So you might see there's those ridges on their sides. Those are called lateral pulls. It actually increases the surface area that they have and they actually absorb oxygen through their skin. So the more surface area, the more they can absorb oxygen. So even though he's going up to the surface to be a weird guy, he doesn't need to breathe. Hellbenders don't actually need to come to the surface. They can stay underwater, which is why most people don't ever see them, because they don't need to come to the surface.
Gotcha.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
My lateral pulls do not absorb.
Why not do that either?
Unfortunately.
Make me float more though.
Yes. That's one thing that amphibians have over mammals. One of many things.
One of many.
They still have lungs, so they can breathe, and every now and then they blow bubbles, but I don't know why. So they're really cool when they eat. They actually still have gill slits. As larvae, they have gills, and at a year or two of age, they'll absorb their gills and then develop those lateral pulls. But they still have the gill slits, so when they're eating, you might have seen on the pool Instagram, Facebook, I don't know, it's a super awesome video I took, of them eating. So it's kind of like a vacuum. So there'll be a fish, and they'll suck it in, and then I almost fell over. The water will get pushed out through their gills, but they'll still have their food in there. So it's really a cool way of eating. Sometimes you can hear them move the gravel when they eat their food.
Oh.
They were eating before we started recording, of course, and then they stopped because, why would they want to eat on camera?
Right. I mean,
Nobody wants to do that.
so Sherri, that vacuum thing that you were talking about, is that why even in slow-mo, it looks so fast for them to eat?
And that's really helpful when they're trying to catch fish or crayfish, which are really fast at moving away, so that they can surprise them. So normally what they'll do is they'll kind of just lay still, wait for something to swim by, and then they'll just suck them up.
Is it about to happen?
I was wondering about that because you were telling me, I guess a long time ago, about more of your animals that kind of have that same strategy, right? Of they just sit and wait. Is that pretty common for amphibians?
Yeah. Well, and reptiles too. Because one thing when you're trying to survive in the wild is you want to catch food, but you don't want to get eaten. So they'll have a lot of different colorations, camouflage, if you will. And then also, when you don't move, things won't find you to eat you. So you just sit there and wait. But also, amphibians and reptiles are ectotherms, which means they're cold-blooded. So they kind of have to spend a little bit more time to digest. So some of them just kind of hang out, which is why if you go to the Unseen New World when we open, you'll see a lot of our animals not really moving. Is because one, if you move, you get eaten. Two, if you move, things that you want to eat will see you. And three, if you just ate, you have to digest your food. So a lot of strategies make them not move a lot.
Yeah, movement isn't the strategy.
Isn't always good.
Yeah.
Unless you're a fish, then you like moving.
True that.
Makes sense. Now, Sherri, amphibians all around the world are in danger of becoming extinct because their skin is so sensitive, so they take in any chemicals or toxins that get into the waterways. So what are some ways that people like me, normal, average Joes, who aren't doing cool conservation work every day can help amphibian populations?
Alright, so one thing, don't dump things into the streams. There's a lot of gutters in storm systems,
Storm drains.
Yeah.
And they direct into your rivers. Even your little creeks will eventually end up into bigger rivers, bigger streams. All these drains into the ocean. So any breast proteins, oil, garbage will end up into the stream, and that's bad. Also, erosion is really bad for streams. It actually is really bad for little baby hellbenders that live in the middle of all these little rocks. If it fills in with dirt and erosion, they can't live there. So then they get eaten. Riparian buffers are good. There's actually a new, sorry, this does not want to stay on. A new program with Southeastern Hellbender Initiative that helps landowners do habitat projects on their land. Planting riparian buffers, putting in riprap, keeping cows out of the stream. So if you are a landowner and you want to help hellbenders, you can look into that. It's super awesome. Also, if you do find a hellbender in any part of the range, scientists and resource agencies would love it if you could take a picture let it go, and then email your local resource agency if you did find it. We really love finding out where they are. We want to know where they are. We want to know how they're doing. And we love it when the public will help us do that, because we can't do it ourselves. We're all in this together.
Yeah, you guys can't be everywhere at once, right? So
Sometimes I can. That's just me, I guess.
Yeah, that's
So Hellbenders are important to our ecosystem. A, because Hellbenders and other amphibians are kind of like a beacon of health of the different rivers and streams where they live, right? They're an indicator.
I was about to ask what that vocab was. Indicator species.
Hellbenders also eat a bunch of different things, like the crayfish and the fish that you were mentioning. So they are helping maintain the health of the ecosystem just by living their lives and eating things that breed really rapidly. So they're really great to have around. I highly recommend, if you haven't ever looked at pictures of Hellbenders, you should check them out because they get real big, yeah?
Wait.
Real big.
The record is 30 inches. In Middle Tennessee, they're probably more like 18 to 24 inches. We have one downstairs that's about 28 inches.
28.
Yeah, she's a big girl. Her name is Princess.
She's my favorite.
The best ever. And they can be about 1 to 3 pounds.
Wow.
Princess is like 5 to 6 pounds.
Good for Princess.
She's a big girl.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old can they live to be?
Well, we don't really know. Our longest longevity record is 30 years in captivity, but because we never started with baby Hellbenders, we don't really know. We think they can live a lot longer than that, which is good for breeding because they have a lot of years to reproduce. So hopefully once we get these guys out, we can fix the rivers, and so their offspring, their babies can be big.
So there's hope.
There's always hope.
Tug at my heartstrings, Sherri.
I try.
Okay, so I've got a question for you, Sherri, from Sammy. Sammy's wondering about how many Hellbenders are in our care right now.
Well, we have about 180 up here in conservation.
In this room.
In this room.
There's 180.
180. It's a lot easier when they're smaller because they don't take up as much space.
I think that's true of everything.
Downstairs, I think there's maybe 35.
So 35 plus this 180. Jake, math time.
215.
There's at least 200 Hellbenders. And most of the ones downstairs were kept and bred here at the zoo. But because we were down in our main collection, we can't use those for re-release. So we send them to other zoos and research institutions so that they can not have to take Hellbenders from the wild for their collections and other things.
So the reason you don't want to mix these individuals with your individuals that are down in the unseen new world is disease spread,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
If your animals have something that maybe not killing them, but
Yep.
is affecting them in some way, certainly don't want to release that into the wild with
Yep.
these puppies, right?
Yeah, we definitely don't want to release any new pathogens into the wild. Also, some species have native gut flora, gut fauna microbes that are good for them but might not be good for other animals. So we definitely just don't want to mix them. That's why these guys are up here all by themselves. We work them separately. They never see any of the other Hellbenders, and it's fine.
That's awesome.
So Sherri, Holly's wondering, how much time have you invested in this conservation project? Ballpark.
As of tomorrow, 13 years.
That's a while.
I've been up there 13 years, and we got them pretty much. We got the adults downstairs pretty much when I started. A long time. I do the ones up here at least an hour a day, and the ones downstairs. It really varies depending on the time of year. During the breeding season, we spend a lot more time. In the winter, when the water's colder and they're not eating, I don't have to water change as much. As it gets warmer, their metabolism increases, they eat a lot more, they poop a lot more, I got to do a lot more work. So there's a lot of seasonal changes in our workload. But a lot of time, but I love it, that's why I'm here.
Well, we're super glad that you're so invested in this species. I don't know if he's smiling, but it looks like it.
Oh yeah, because he's looking at you.
Aww.
Oh, that was sweet. That was sweet.
That was the sweetest thing you've ever said to me.
That is a lie.
That's true.
I think what's really kind of cool here is a lot of people are worried about megafauna. So your giraffes, your rhinos, your elephants, your lions, your tigers, primarily mammals, I'll say it, get a lot of the public's attention, get a lot of interest from folks, and get a lot of help, which is good, they need it. But species like the hellbender, the streamside salamander, the alligator snapping turtle that our amazing herpetology team here at the National Zoo is working with are just as critical to the health of the overall ecosystem. So this is kind of one of the things that makes me so proud to work here at the National Zoo is the work that y'all do. I think it's truly incredible to see these species growing up and then getting to see them released into the wild must be a crazy cool feeling.
We're hoping soon it's going to be awesome. Hopefully we'll have Calvin there to document it so everyone can share in our success.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that is, again, like what you folks who are watching this video, if you're a member, if you visited the zoo before, even if you just follow along with all the stuff that comes and posts on our social media pages, you're helping Sherri and her team do this conservation work. As a nonprofit, we can't do it without y'all's support, so we really appreciate it. If you do want to help out more during this like weird time, you can go to shop.nationalzoo.org and get a cool t-shirt just like this one. This one helps remind me, A, where I work, it's the National Zoo, and where that is, the latitude and longitude, which is pretty impressive.
We've learned so much from your t-shirts the past couple of weeks.
It's pretty great. So again,
We've learned Latin, right?
Yeah, we learned Latin. We learned what that meant and why. And
Yeah.
we learned Roman numerals. And now we've learned latitude and longitude. So shop.nationalzoo.org is a way that you can get cool t-shirts like this one.
Unfortunately, we don't have Sherri's, but
Yeah.
This was a great Christmas present from my husband.
thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. So, Kelsey, do we have anybody else with last questions about these wonderful hellbenders or Sherri's amazing work with them?
I don't see any questions about that. Sandy just asked, are we open? Sandy, unfortunately, we're still closed, but I'm gonna update our pages later this afternoon with an announcement about that. So that's gonna be exciting. Oh, we've got another one out.
How beautiful is that hellbender?
Honestly, I love his polka dots. Do they all have that?
Stunning.
They all have different types of camouflage. Different sun will make different lights in the water. It seems like this is totally just my observations. The hellbenders that are in the tanks that are exposed to a little bit more light seem to have a lot more yellow on them, but that's just
That's your hypothesis?
my observation. One more thing, hellbenders don't actually eat trout. They don't eat game fish. So if you are a fisherman and you do catch one, please just cut the line and let it go. They're not bad. They're not going to bite you. They're not poisonous. They're perfectly harmless.
And perfectly
they're
adorable.
good. They are adorable. They can be a little bit startling if you do happen to catch one and you're not expecting it. They really like eating smelly food, so if you're using like some good bait, they might take you up on that offer. Please just let them know and then let someone know that you have one.
That's awesome. Is there anything else that you want people to know about hellbenders? Anything else you think that's cool to share?
There's a lot of different videos of different states doing releases, so you can check those out. Basically just Google Hellbenders and you'll find a lot of amazing videos, a lot of different states, a lot of different partners are working with them. So we're working with them range-wide to help them because it's not just a Tennessee problem, it's a Hellbender problem, so we're all working to help them a little
And
bit.
could you repeat what that range is for the hellbenders again?
New York and Pennsylvania, all the way down to northern Alabama and Georgia, with some in Arkansas and Missouri.
So it's pretty much the eastern side of the U.S.
It's not quite. It's more. It kind of follows the Appalachian Mountains and the Ozark Mountains because they like
Gotcha.
colder streams that happen to kind of correspond with mountain range.
That's really cool. And Sherri, the types of rivers that you would find these guys in, like you wouldn't find it in like a giant river, would you?
Not so much because giant rivers now, because of all the little small streams that are feeding into the giant rivers, are a lot more polluted. So it used to be found in the Duck River, but if you guys have driven over the Duck River lately, it's not so great. So it's more smaller streams we're finding them right now that are a little bit more cleaner and less polluted.
Gotcha. Well, these guys are super Adorable.
They
really
really
are
are. And they all have different personalities. You guys won't believe me. The ones I have downstairs,
In Unseen New World.
yeah, in the Unseen New World, they have the two on exhibit. They have different personalities. I can generally tell by how they eat and where they sit.
That's awesome.
They came like right up to my camera that time we tried to take photos of them in the water. So, little adventurous guys.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think we're gonna wrap up this live stream. I wanna say a big thank you and a shout out to Sherri and the rest of our herpetology team. They really do so much amazing work, not only with our species that are on exhibit here at the zoo, but these incredible animals behind the scenes that, Sherri, your team is making a difference in the lives of these animals and their populations in the wild. And you all should be commended for that. It's truly spectacular. To learn more, you can go to naturalzoo.org. Kelsey, our amazing social media person who's behind the camera today, has a lot of info about the different conservation work that we do here at the zoo. Thanks so much for joining us today, everybody. We'll be back next week with some more live streams that are going to be a surprise for you and for us. We haven't figured them out yet, but we're really bringing some more cool stuff here at the zoo. Thanks, everyone.